Okay, so page 178, right? Chapter review, page 178. So let's just do some mental here. The first couple questions are mental. I would just write in your book for number 1, what do you think, what symbol is that one? For number 2, go ahead and write in your book, what symbol is that one? These are the harder ones because it's not just straightforward. How do you say is at least? You can do numbers in your head if you want. Things like, if that helps you. I don't know if it does or not. But how do you say is at least? And number 2, how do you say does not exceed? Is at least, does not exceed. All right, number 1, who wants to tell me what to write? Kaylin? That is a greater than or equal to. For example, 10 is at least greater than or equal to 9. All right? It is at least greater than or equal to 9. And I don't know if that helped you at all, but in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. But is at least means it's got to be greater than or equal to. Does not exceed then is the less than or equal to, right? Can't go past it. Does not exceed. So hopefully that one makes sense to you. It does not exceed. Okay, you definitely got to unnegate. So let's do number 4. I'll try to leave the odds for you guys later to where you can work on your odds if you want to. Well, what about number 4? Unnegate number 4. So the original looks like this for anybody watching. So unnegate it. So hopefully you said greater than or equal to negative 10, right? So to unnegate, you're going to get rid of the negation symbol. You're going to flip, switch, reverse the inequality symbol. And if it was equal to, you're going to make it not equal to. If it was not equal to, you're going to make it equal to, right? Nick? No, it's not exactly the same because negation not only flips the symbol, but it adds or takes away the equal to part. So they are different. So for example, if we had negative 10 less than z, if we were going to reverse, let's just graph that. Graph negative 10 less than z. Go ahead and graph that. Negative 10 less than z. Your graph doesn't have to be big and beautiful, just a number or two to give us an idea that you know where to stick it. Okay? And again, because we're not doing a compound inequality, we'll put it above because it's just clearer. Technically, it goes on the number line, but we'll go above because it's clearer. We have to go conjunction or disjunction on the number line because we have other stuff above. All right, so everybody did that, right? First. So Nick, notice we didn't add the bar underneath, right? And that's why I did this one for you. And so again, hopefully you put a circle over the negative 10, arrow to the right. How many got that correct? Okay, and if you missed it, I'm not sure what's happening there. Again, as I tried to tell you, get your variable on the left. This way your inequality arrow always goes in the same direction as your symbol. Feel free to ask questions as we go. Just pop a hand up. Raquel? On the negation? Okay. So this one is saying the number is not less than negative 10. So therefore, the number can be greater than or equal to the negative 10. Because even a negative 10 is not less than a negative 10. So again, for negation, the simple part is whenever you reverse the symbol, if it does not have a bar, put the bar. If it had the bar, then the bar has to go away. Because the negation says no bar, therefore the opposite of that is with a bar. If the negation started with a bar, the negation has the bar. Therefore, the opposite of that can't have the bar, if that helps. But that's just the procedure. And again, that's the logic too, but that doesn't always make sense. But the procedure is easier than the logic sometimes. If it has a bar, don't give it a bar. If it doesn't, give it, and it'll work out right. But that's tricky sometimes. Okay, solving inequalities for time's sake. If you look at 7 through 14, you will have some of those on your test. Okay? Say good, it's just a normal inequality. I solve it like an equation. I reverse the symbol only if I multiply or divide both sides by a negative. You will have some of those. Okay? So say good, that's good. I can handle those. I'm not going to practice those. Let's get down to 22 to 27. So now you got a compound inequality, and they want graph its solution on the number line. And again, for time's sake, I'm going to skip those because 28 to 35 says solve the compound inequality, express the answer as an inequality, the set of real numbers or the empty set. So remember on the quizzes, we've been asking you to not only show the graphed answer, but then to just show the written algebra answer. On the test, you'll have to do both. Show a written answer and show the algebra answer. And then there'll be some questions like our last quiz where I just give you the compound inequality. You know it is because it had the word and or it had the word or. And you know to give the solution as a conjunction or disjunction. Students always say, do I have to graph it? And again, the answer always is the graph helps you to determine what your answer is. So do you have to graph it? Well, I'm not going to take away your birthday if you don't, but how else are you going to figure out what the answer is? And again, 2 or 3 of you can know the answer in your head already because the math makes sense to you. But that's like 2 or 3 of you at best. The rest of you, you're way better off just graph the thing. It only takes about 20 seconds to graph it. And then you'll have the answer to read and know what to do. Okay, so we're going to, on these, we're going to do both. So let's start with 28. I want you to solve that compound inequality, show me the graph solution, and show me the regular solution. All right, 28. Graph it, or solve it, show the graph solution, give me the algebraic solution. So hopefully right off the bat you said, hey, this is a disjunction, right? Came to that conclusion, solved each inequality. Now I didn't circle it in green until I was done graphing it, although I knew it right away, but I graphed it, right? Disjunction, so this is the question Raquel answered just a little bit ago. So dot over the -5 arrow to the left, circle over the 4 arrow to the right. And remember, disjunction is all of that. How do you say both of those parts? You got to use the word or. This one already had the smaller one on the left, so I was good to go. I could just circle it. If it would have had the smaller one on the right and the bigger one on the left, I would have reversed them with the word or, right? Correct? Always put the lower one, the negative one. The one always going less than starts on the left. The one always going greater than is always on the right. It'll always be the smaller and bigger one. Any questions on that, Raquel? Okay, I divided both sides by a 2, a positive 2. It's not negative. And whenever it's positive, you don't do any flopping. Remember, don't flip out. Don't be flipping all over the place. Only when you multiply or divide by a negative quantity. The thing you multiply or divide by is negative. Not the number already is negative. The thing you are multiplying both sides by or the quantity you are dividing both sides by. Okay, good. Get that settled now, and then you'll be great come next time. All right, try number 30. Number 30. Are you doing a conjunction or disjunction? Conjunction, right? That's the intersection symbol. So you should have gotten x less than 3. I supplied the word and because I want to make sure I'm remembering I'm doing a conjunction, or you can keep this intersection symbol going. And x greater than 10/3, which is 3 1/3, right? Well, notice they don't overlap anywhere, do they? So I write nothing on the graph, correct? Because there is no intersection, and I write the null set. How many got that correct? Okay. And again, if you're messing up, try to recognize what's getting you. Yes, sir, Connor. So x is greater than 3 1/3, which is about there. Oh, that is a circle. Good, no Kool-Aid for you. Any other questions on that one? Okay. All right, I'd love to keep rolling through some of these, but for time's sake, we're going to have to skip around a little bit. And let's do 35. 35. Okay, say your answer on 3. 1, 2, 3, if you got it. That one should end up all the real numbers if your math was correct. Now again, I'm going to limit the numbers of ones where you also have to solve the inequality for time's sake. So we'll limit how many of these you do where you have to also solve it. Because again, I'll just give you regular inequalities to solve to see if you know how to solve an inequality. So I won't give you a ton of this type because they're time consuming. But you should have gotten x greater than negative 5/3. That's greater than a negative 1 2/3. And then less than 1. They overlap going in different directions. It's a disjunction. Therefore, it's all the real numbers. Okay. All right, at this point, I want you to watch the next couple so I can get a couple in here for time's sake. All right, this is number 37. Don't write it, just watch. Don't do anything but watch. Because if you try to write, you're going to run out of time. Okay, I move the 6. This will become a 26, right? Oops, that'll become a 14, right? Add a negative 6 to both sides. Okay. Divide both sides by negative 2. This is where I end up. The absolute value of x equals negative 7. What do I do next? What do I do next? Connor? It's okay. Abby? Okay. Agreed? That's what I do next? Who disagrees? What do you want me to do instead, Josh? So what do I write? Null set. Correct. Josh, why did you correctly interpret that we can't do anything? When you iso the ab, if the other side is negative, this isn't an inequality, this is a equation. When you iso the ab, if the other side is negative, the answer is the null set. Don't waste your time doing anything else. You could, if you want, you'll even get something to graph, but none of it will be true. None of it will be the answer. So you want to iso the ab. In addition, don't really have, let's do this. Don't write this. What's the midpoint of that? 8. How far is it to both solutions? So give me the two solutions. No, the midpoint is 8. Give me the two solutions. 11 and 5, right? If you know that. Again, there can be nothing in the front here. Okay, so what if it was that? What's the midpoint now? Negative 8. What are the two solutions? And negative 11, right? Negative 8, negative 5, 3 that way, negative 11, 3 that way. If you know what you're doing with that, that is the way those go. Okay. Again, speeding through here. How about something like this? What's the solution to that? This is the special case. Again, don't write, watch. You don't have time to write. You'll miss what I'm trying to get to you. It's a disjunction. Agreed? With an inequality, be careful when there's a negative. So let's finish this thing. Get rid of the absolute value and solve, right? Get rid of the absolute value, reverse the inequality symbol, put a negative out in front. Now I'm going to add a positive 2 to both sides. 7 and 2 is 9. Here's what I get. Circle over the 9, arrow to the left. Circle over the -5, arrow to the right. But remember, it's a disjunction. Therefore, what is the solution to this disjunction? All the real numbers. Difference is that was an inequality. Now, what if this were a conjunction? Here's what would have happened when you solve. Trust me, this is what would have happened. This one would have gone that way, and this one would have gone that way. So this would have been the conjunction. This, got rid of too much. So how would you read the solution to that conjunction? That one's the null set still, because they're inequalities. Those are the two special cases, Kaylin. Negative and negative is a positive. Add a positive 2 to both sides to move the -2. All right. Test on Monday. Hey, 5-day break coming. 5 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you know what? We're flipping on Monday after your test, meaning you're going to do your homework Tuesday in class. Meaning you're not even going to have any homework from this class Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what am I saying? Do some work this weekend to have a good test. You need to. A lot of you need to. Work hard this weekend. Work hard this weekend. You got a 5-day break coming. 5-day. All right? Work hard.